If you allow me to, in this video, I'm going to explain to you why players get stuck, why pickleball players get stuck in their progression. Players want to improve. They're doing what they think they need to do in order to improve, but they find that this all of a sudden gets stuck. And I've depicted that here with this 3-0 to 3-5 wall. It just seems to be just insurmountable obstacle. When they want to get over here to 4-0 and beyond land on the other side of the wall, this wall is sitting in front of them and they just simply get stuck. I'm going to talk in this video, I'm going to go through this wonderful drawing with you and show you some of the pitfalls that players fall into and why they get stuck on this side of the wall, not able to progress beyond that. This video was inspired by a fellow coach who sent me an email. I'm going to read to you part of the email that inspired this thinking, this conversation we're having. The email said this: I have found that most 3 to 3.5s think they know it all and aren't really interested in working on the elements of the pickleball system. In this case, fundamentals, right? The keys to playing really good pickleball. And then the coach says, are you surprised? Beginners are much more receptive and actually progress rapidly. Something about not carrying any baggage, I believe. I responded saying, hit the nail on the head. And I suggested to my fellow coach that I was going to talk about it in a video like I am here. I'm also going to include this in the podcast as well, probably. So you're either listening on the podcast or watching it on YouTube. Highly recommend if you're listening to a podcast, you watch on YouTube because this drawing is killer and it helps really illustrate it. So we have this wall that arises in front of many players, this 3-0 to 3-5 wall, and it's players get stuck, right? They literally cannot advance past where they're at right now, whether it's 3-2, 3-3, 3-4. And I think my fellow coach, hit the nail on the head when the coach said that the players don't want to look at what really makes sense in order to progress. So I've tried to depict that here on this image, and I'm going to walk you through it. So you can imagine this path that we're all on. So we're all walking this path together towards improvement, right? And in this drawing, we have the 4-0 and beyond land on the other side of this wall. And what happens is there is a wall. There's an obstacle to us getting past 3-0 to 3-5. And if you look at it objectively, most pickleball players will be in that 3-0 to 3-5 range. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with playing 3-0 or 3-5 pickleball. It's good pickleball. The question is, if you want to keep going, why can't you, right? What is it that's stopping you if that's something that you want to do? So what happens is this. So you're coming down your path like this, and on the left fork of the path, there's all these different, these are quick fixes, right? They're like the things that are going to get you there. So we have a YouTube trampoline, right? So you have players who get on this YouTube trampoline. They're trying to basically jump over the wall. Watch a YouTube video. Maybe you get that quick tip. You get that thing you need, right? Whatever it is. And you're able to jump on a trampoline, get over that wall. Vast majority of players are never going to clear that wall using YouTube. That's just not a reality for the vast majority of players. Very rare that a player is going to be able to sink that trampoline perfectly and get over that wall. Another thing on the board here is the friendly assist here. So we have a player trying to lift another player over the wall. The reality is that most players who are giving advice at the courts don't have enough information to get you over that wall. They might be able to lift you up a little bit, right? Help you out a little bit potentially, but they definitely don't have everything you need to get over that wall. As much as they may wish to help you, as well-intended as they may be, they just don't have the knowledge, expertise, coaching, training in order to be able to get you over that wall. Another drawing here is a catapult. This is the 5.0 catapult. My favorite thing nowadays are the videos that talk about getting to 5.0 in a month or 6 months or 3 months, whatever it is. It is very difficult to make it to real 5.0 level play unless you already come to the sport with a heavy background in some related sport and also are going to spend a tremendous amount of time working on your craft. But here's the thing, as well-intended as these content creators are, it's just not a YouTube video that can say, okay, I'm going to get you to 5.0 in this catapult. What ends up happening is you end up just smashing into that wall if you take the tips that are given in those videos. Oftentimes, because you don't have the foundational elements from before that allow you to implement what's in those videos to get you to advance your level, whether it's the 5.0 or 4.0, it doesn't matter. You don't have the background that's necessary to use the tips that are in those videos. So that catapult's not going to work either. I also have a rope on here because, to be fair, you can scale the wall, right? You can find your way little by little. You climb up that rope. You're not strong enough yet. You slide back down, get back on that rope, climb it again. You can learn to rope climb. It's a more difficult way of doing things, but it's doable. So you could try and climb this rope. It's going to take longer. Again, you're going to be climbing up, then you're going to get fatigued and slide back down and climb up again until you get strong enough to climb the rope. But here's the secret. I want to focus now on this right path, on this right fork on the path. The right fork on the path is a lot of times bypassed by 3-0s and 3-5s. And there's bypassed because of this one word that I wrote on the path, fundamentals. The minute that we use a term like fundamentals, and frankly, that's the reason why we don't use it as often as we probably want to, and I'm not talking about CJ and myself as coaches in pickleball, is because we know it's a turnoff. When we turn out that term fundamentals, you may have already turned out this video. You're like, I'm done with this video. But here's the thing. Fundamentals are the way that you can climb this wall to get over the wall. And I've depicted it with a ladder here because it's the easiest way of showing how it goes over the wall. But basically, fundamentals requires step 1 to be done before step 2, step 2 before step 3, and so on until you master all of the steps that are necessary to climb to the top of the wall as this player has, and then continue your progression over to 4.0 land. Because here's the thing. The best players on the planet, the pro players, the 4-5s, the 5-0s, the good 4-0s, all of them have excellent fundamentals. What happens to a lot of players who are trying to advance without paying attention to fundamentals, trying to bypass the fundamentals on this trampoline or the catapult, they never develop the fundamentals that they need in order to continue advancing as players. What ends up happening is, instead of taking this right fork down the path and being able to climb the ladder, right, to get over the wall, they end up going down the left side of the path, and some players for years will end up on this left path just beating their head against this wall, right? Whether it's bouncing from the trampoline into the wall, the catapult, trying to climb the rope, whatever it is, they're not able to climb this wall. They can't scale the wall and keep going with their game if that's something they want to do because they're on the wrong side of the path. What those players need to do, and if you're one of them, I highly recommend you do this, you're going to have to backtrack a little bit on this path, and you want to take this right path. The right fork along the path is the one that's going to get you to the ladder, is the one that's going to get you to step by step, and that's what's going to ultimately allow you to scale this wall and continue with your pickleball growth. Now, if you're watching this towards the beginning of March, I highly recommend you join us for a workshop that we have. It's a totally free workshop. You don't have to pay anything to come to the workshop. CJ and I put it together there to show you step by step how you can win more games. We're going to talk to you for real about pickleball, not YouTube clicky talk. This is for real talk about what really takes to play better pickleball and to start scaling this wall. We're also going to introduce you to our pickleball system. You can decide then whether you want to come into the system or not. That's your choice entirely. But the workshop is something you should definitely attend if you want to start walking down this right fork in the path in order to get to the ladder that will ultimately let you get over that wall and continue your advancement as a pickleball player. Because I'm here to tell you, you can play really nice, really good pickleball. You just need to know how to do it. And in the Win More workshop, we're going to take a step in that direction to teach you what you need to do in order to scale the wall. I'll put a link down below. Check it out. But no matter what you decide to do, fundamentals is going to be the key for you to scale the wall and continue your improvement. Be well, and I'll see you in the next video.